Have you ever left your house and you forgot something that you knew was super important for that day, but you already ended up where you were going to go and you couldn't turn around to go back and get it? My name is Brandy Weiss, and I tend to forget things when I desperately need them for something really, really important. I'm going to share a story with you today of how I crossed the border in the Bahamas and I almost wasn't able to come back because I forgot my passport on the cruise ship. This all took place in a tiny little island in the Bahamas where my friend Heather decided that she had used the bathroom, and because I forget things, I almost wasn't able to come back from the bathroom because it was across the border. From the moment I stepped foot onto the cruise ship, I'd been freaking out over every little thing. It's a big trip. There's a lot that you have to plan for. So I knew that I had to carry around my passport just in case, so I had it in my beach bag the whole day. The bag was so bulky and it was so heavy to carry around. So before leaving the trip to go on our excursion, I decided to clean out my bag and try to make it a little bit lighter to carry around. There was this extra bottle of sunscreen and a really fluffy towel that I like to lay on the beach, but it was totally unnecessary because I already had one to dry off. I had my sandals from the pool that day, but they were wet, so I decided to take those out as well because they were just a backup. So after at least emptying out 100 pounds of my bag, I set off to my beach excursion. The weather was gorgeous. You could smell the salty ocean and taste the tropical flavors in the wind. There was so much music and people socializing all around you with sounds of water crashing in the docks in the background. It was gorgeous. So before heading out onto the boat to go to the resort island excursion, my friend that had been traveling with me decided that she needed to use the bathroom. The nearest bathroom to our boat was located in this little shopping center. I had no idea at the time that the shopping center was across the border. There were no customs or anything like that in sight. There were cute little shopping centers inside with little trinkets for sale. On our way out of the shopping center, we had decided to go back a different way that we thought would be a little bit closer to our boat to go to the island. Needless to say, there was a whole line of people in customs. Security guards were everywhere. Tourists were digging, looking for their passports. It was craziness. So I began to dig through my bag, and I couldn't find the one thing that identified me as a U.S. citizen so that I could cross back over the border. I was scared out of my mind. The plot twist of this story is that yes, I forgot my passport in my room on the ship, but I thank God every day for having a responsible roommate who could remember that I forget absolutely everything. She'd picked up my passport for me and brought it with her on the excursion. So I got to enjoy a wonderful beach day, and I had such a good time with my friends. Leave it to me to forget the one thing that is so important that you should never leave behind on an international trip. From emptying out my bag to using a restroom across the border, shopping at little teeny tiny shopping centers, and then realizing you left the one piece of evidence of your identity somewhere else was probably the scariest thing I've ever experienced. I learned two things that day. Never pack a beach bag over 5 to 10 pounds, and always remember to never forget your passport on an international trip. Thank you.